Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler, and today I have a wonderful guest, Andrea A Smith. Andrea is a stress resilience coach, and our topic is feeling better fast, fear less, live more. Andrea, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you today, Andrea. Before I get started, I just need to make a legal disclaimer that Andrea is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Andrea, can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself and your business?
So I was born and raised in India from a poor background. Despite this, I was determined at a young age that I was going to make something of myself and my life. I encountered fears about money, negativity, and criticism. Despite this, something inside me drove me to want more. I worked hard. I went to university, despite being told I would amount to nothing. And I became a registered nurse. So a few years ago, I had a devastating time after I got married. I found myself on the other side of the world in New Zealand with two small children because my ex-husband was from New Zealand. I felt excited to immigrate from the UK until my husband abandoned us with the two small children. Somehow I found my way back to the UK and was a single mum of two children. I had tears, fears, exhaustion. Being human, I found I wanted to throw the towel in, but something stopped me. My why. Through this experience, I was determined to understand the human mind. So I embarked on a master's in psychology degree. At this time, I also learned different psychological therapies. I spent 10 years getting qualified. My own experience drove me to help other people, to help them cope, especially those who were struggling like me with anxiety, stress, overwhelm, and guilt. It led me to be on a mission to help them take back control of their lives, to develop this resilience. It doesn't stop the challenges from coming towards us, but we learn to respond by doing stress resilience coaching, build that resilience, be more resourceful. I'm passionate about giving people tools and techniques so they can think and feel differently, they can respond differently, and through that they can be happier and a stress-free life.
What a lovely story. Thank you for sharing that with us, Andrea. And it's just nice to hear, and I hear it a lot, and it's the same with myself, that when we go through struggles and challenges, it really can help us in our futures to have that drive to serve and help others. And because you have been through struggles and challenges, that makes you the perfect person to help people through stresses and have resilience. So I really know you better now and know why you do what you do. I would like to know, Andrea, who are your customers? Who are your clients?
So I see people between, say, approximately 35 and 55 years old. They could be individuals, business owners, entrepreneurs. I also work with small and medium businesses running their stress resilience programs in-house. Right now, of course, it's through Zoom. But just to make sure that the employees perform better, they're more productive, At this day and age, there's lots of challenges coming at us through financial worries, bereavement, anxiety. So people need to feel happier with their job and their life, and they will then be more creative and give more to work, and then the business will prosper as well.
Yes, and we're going through tough times at the moment with lockdowns in the UK and the virus, the pandemic. So it's really, really important what you're doing, especially in workplaces, because a lot of people are losing jobs at the moment, and then people that will be back in work, there's going to be a lot of stress. So it's really, really an important thing that people do start to look after their mental health, their well-being, their spirituality, and start to make themselves feel better. So I really admire the work that you're doing, Andrea. Do you recall a specific aha moment that led to the launch of your business?
So with working as a nurse, and I have a psychological and medical background, I cared for many people suffering and struggling with stress, with anxieties. And those people want pills, drugs, all sorts of things that deaden them inside. They weren't living the life that they want. They deserved better. They did not know what to do, how to do it, whom to go to, how to come out of this. I was not content with completing my master's, so I went on and learned more tools to work with people who are going through this, for people who wanted to make changes in their lives for the better from inside out. I'm evidence of what is possible. I'm proof. That's such a transformation that has driven me to write my book, Fear Less, Live More. But also the biggest block that people have these days in moving forward is fear. In my book, in great detail, I write the impact of anxiety and panic attacks and stresses have on their lives, their mental health, their physical well-being, their emotional well-being. And so I found that was not enough to just deliver, write the book. But in the book, also put narrative questioning and thought-provoking ideas so they can be able to change. While I see my past clients change, that is my aha moment. So that's why I launched the business even more, so that people can get out of that feeling of fear.
And like you say, you are a perfect example that it is possible. And when people want to be led and want a great leader, want some coaching, want to mentor, it's really important that person has walked the walk and talked the talk. And you have been through all of these challenges. Also, stress, anxiety, and depression. A lot of people really do suffer with this. I have had it myself. So it's really a great, great work that you are doing for people, and you really know your stuff when it comes to this, because you have turned your life around, Andrea. What really motivates you to jump out of bed every single day?
So after my marriage broke down, I went to therapy. It helped me realize at that time my why was bigger than me. Because of the medical background I had, I knew that my why was a vital element in achieving my success in living a happy, stress-free life. So I'm a highly driven woman. What gets me out of bed is that knowledge that I can make a difference in people's lives. I can make their lives better. My clients have written many testimonials for me to tell me the significant difference I've made in their lives. How now they're happy, they're carefree. By giving them those tools and techniques, I have helped them make the change that they intend to live the life they want. So that motivates me to jump out of bed and do the things that I love.
And that is a great reason to jump out of bed, Andrea. And when you are coming from a place of service, that gives you so much satisfaction knowing that you are serving and helping others. And that is just a great reason to get up every single day. What sets your business apart, and what unique need are you filling for your clients?
So I share everything with my clients from the inside, my mind, my body, and my soul. My work ethic, together with my extensive experience, sets me apart from other people, because it ensures that my clients, after they finish with the coaching, they are constantly growing through me empowering them to grow within themselves. I deliver fresh, new, exciting courses and programs so that these clients can feel resilient, live the life that they want. My unique qualities are, it's the difference I make in my clients. I not only listen to what they're saying and hear what they're saying, but I can just listen to the things that they're not telling me. I can tailor those strategies that I've learned over the last 10 years to each client to suit their individual needs. I understand the physiological, the emotional, the mental effects that stress has on the body. So when stress, overwhelm, and guilt and anxieties release cortisol in the body, teaching my clients the techniques that they can use for this overwhelming stress there and then, so that there and then they feel better. Just imagine that they're going to work, or imagine they're at work, or imagine that they're going out for the day and they suddenly have that attack of anxiety. There and then, if they use these techniques that I teach them, they then can move forward and do the things that they love, perform better, increase their productivity, feel creative in their lives.
That's beautiful, and it's having those techniques that will get you through those testing times. Andrea, why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
As you said before, Mark, living in these uncertain times with COVID-19, 6 out of 10 adults have experienced stress. That's 59%, especially in the UK, of all adults have gone through bereavement or isolation, loss of income, anxiety, depression, severe panic attacks, fears. This are triggering their mental health conditions or exacerbating their existing ones. Many people have faced increased levels of alcohol or drug use, insomnia, anxiousness in their daily life. My service is simple, effective, easy to use. No matter what's happening in my clients' lives, or people who are listening, their lives, changing the way we look at adversity and taking action is key. Doing something different will make them feel happier. It won't take those challenges away, but it will help them feel resilient and cope with anything that's going to come at them.
Can you share a little more detail on the kind of services and products that you offer?
So I work mainly with stress, overwhelm, guilt, anxiety, panic attacks, depression. To just give you an example, is that I take my clients through this stress bucket challenge. So at sometimes, if you have a lot of, your stress bucket is really overflowing, you'll feel overwhelmed and you will have a burnout. So they don't know how to make holes in that stress bucket. Take time out, do some self-care. So I have a technique called Apple Awareness. So I will quickly run through with you, Mark, and your listeners, what that Apple Awareness is. So A is awareness of what you're feeling and why you're feeling. P is perception. You zoom out and you gain a good perspective. P is possibility. You face your truth. L is listening to that inner voice. and identifying those negative thoughts that are letting your stress bucket get overfull. E is engaging in reframing. So when you want to reframe, you go through a reframe funnel. So you look at that situation completely differently. You challenge your filters. You consider what is the alternative, change your self-talk, your mindset, allow to take those negative thoughts into a I can and I will approach.
You have shared a lot of value, and I absolutely love Apple. That is a great, great technique, a great strategy that really does cover everything that will make a difference. Now, I know you have all sorts of client success stories. What is just one that stands out to you?
So I just want to talk to Lee a little bit about Sheila. So Sheila was suffering with anxiety and really overwhelmed for driving long distances. She had 2 children and she panicked about getting in the car for a long period of time. It made her feel really physically sick and overwhelmed her completely. Her survival response was triggered when her husband suggested they go to the seaside. This last summer, we had some beautiful days. So he said, let's go to the seaside for the day with the kids. She was excited, but she was nervous as well. So Sheila and I worked on this other technique called the simple focus. So simple is we worked on her self-esteem issues, why she felt isolated with these fears that she had, these anxieties which she had. Her mental well-being was impeding her in moving forward and is making her feel physically ill and loss of control. So, and she had excessive thoughts and behaviors about just getting in the car and driving long distances. So the focus part of that simple focus was we worked on the F word is called face your fears. O is we worked on how she was able to overcome her negativity, how she could communicate her fears with her husband, her children, and to understand what's triggering her to make her go into this panic. And gave her strategies like a deep breathing control strategies to control her breathing when she's in the car. So she was able to control her breath and her anxiety during the long distances. And then maybe her husband could stop at different areas so she could then take time out. So Sheila was able to then go on to the seaside and enjoy the day with her family.
And that is just so rewarding for you that these clients come to you and they're really in on themselves. They're not being the best that they can be. They're suffering. And then when you have worked with them, they are going on and doing things that they couldn't do, facing their fears. And what a great satisfaction that must give you, Andrea. Now, you have a book, Fear Less, Live More. Can you just tell us a little bit about the book and how our listeners can get a hold of it?
So my book is launched just today, Mark. I'm really excited about it. It's called, again, Fear Less, Live More. It's available on Amazon, on Kindle. The audiobook will be published early in January. But at the moment, you can get the book either on Amazon or www.andreaasmith.com.
And just tell us a little bit about the book.
So in the book, what I've done is fill the book with these easy to use techniques. I've started with a little bit about what the title of that topic is, and then explained a little bit, but then gone through my story about how I went through the same thing, and then given my readers a little bit of an idea what they could do, ask them questions and they can write it down, and then gone through a case study and given them loads and loads of tips and techniques for each topic, each chapter in the book, so they can use it. And at the tail end of the book is Andrea's Learning Alerts, where people can take action and use this book as a great tool. It's just really easy. The size is great. You can put it in your handbag. And also, anybody who buys the book from my website, I send out a fillable Fear Less, Live More workbook, which is a fillable PDF, and they can then fill it and use that for free. It's a complimentary thing, and they can use it with these simple, easy to use techniques just to have a mindful approach to their happiness.
So it's a real practical book, which is great. Not only do the listeners who would like a copy, not only will you get Andrea's moving story, it's also a practical book with strategies, tips and techniques that you can use right now to start living a stress-free life. How do clients typically hear about you, Andrea, and are there certain life moments that usually lead to them seeking you out?
So clients usually hear from me is either through my website or social media. I do a lot of networking. A lot of referrals come to me. So people who have lost control, feel lost, or are looking down a black hole of they don't know where to go. They cannot find their way out. They find me on the internet. One of my goals, mainly through my social media or networking or through now this radio interview that I'm doing, is before these people get to that state that they resort to pills or other form of habits and behaviors, I educate them how they can feel better in their mind and body. And that is the certain life moments when they get to and they don't know where to go. They seek me out to find a better way to cope with their stress, their anxieties, the overwhelm, the guilt.
Andrea, I have really enjoyed a conversation with you today. I've enjoyed learning more about you, your business. I can hear your passion, and I know how satisfied it makes you to really be supporting these individuals that are going through these stresses. I really admire the work you're doing. My last question today is, how can our listeners get a hold of you? How can they connect with you?
So I have a Facebook group called Making Life Better. Also a Facebook business page, Andrea A Smith, a stress coach. So they can find the links down below. I'm hoping we can attach them to this recording. And on my website, www.andreaasmith.com, they can just connect with me. They can even ask to speak to me, and I'm happy to go on them and just have a complimentary chat with them to see where they're at in their life and what they'd like help with, so they can start to find ways to feel better about themselves and live the life that they intend.
I would encourage anyone going through challenges, stress, anxiety, depression, check out AndreaASmith.com. Andrea, thank you so much for being on the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you so much, Mark. I enjoyed being here and talking to you. Thank you so much.
The pleasure was all mine. You have been listening to the Brilliance Business Show. Conversations with leading experts in business.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.